Get the sauce.
Yo, what's going on? Happy Monday to all. Sorry, my TV made some noise. Hope you all had a great weekend. My weekend, I actually finished the weekend down a few dollars, but that was all because of Friday night. I got rocked on Friday night and battled back. Had a good Saturday, and then Sunday I made a few dollars. So overall, it was a losing weekend, but Saturday and Sunday weren't bad at all. So it's just a really bad Friday. We got a lot to get through today. 2 playoff NHL games, 2 playoff NBA games, and then 14 MLB baseball games. So let's get right into it. And is history going to happen here? Are the Canes going to come back from being down 3-0?
Yeah, I mean, Rangers fans, are you scared yet? You guys were all dropping the sweep emojis in the comments section in Game 4. The boys got it done. So I do think we could see history be made. I mean, I don't know if they win in 7, but if they win this one, I think it's very likely that it goes to 7 games. Yeah, they got the win at home in Game 4 to force Game 5. They finally scored on the power play to win the game. So they finally got over that bump. They've got some great momentum heading into Game 5. Obviously, the Canes have been right there in every game. It's going to even out. I think the Canes win the next 2. Every game has been decided by 1 goal, and eventually that luck's going to turn around. I think they get off to a hot start once again, and they just ride that momentum to another win here. And the Rangers, this is probably the most public dog I've seen in the playoffs in a long time. I'm seeing 87% on the Rangers here, and yet they're -1, -110, -105 range. So the books definitely love Carolina here, and I agree with them. Like the books, like they need Carolina to win here, and they're not moving the line at all. Like you'd think that you'd be seeing -130 Rangers or something here. No, it's -115 to -110. So yeah, I like the Canes to force a Game 6.
Yeah, you got to think they're taking a lot of Rangers action, and they're holding strong, keeping the Canes as slight road favorites here. I'd love to see it. Let's go, Canes up, Canes. I don't know if I actually bet this because there's a lot of basketball and baseball on tonight, but if I bet this game, I'd be betting Canes. I'm looking to see all those pissed off Rangers fans in the comments. Let's do it, Canes. 3 in a row coming up.
I'd love to see the Rangers fans just be
Yeah.
devastated. They're the most annoying fans in the league, in my opinion.
Yeah, they get like they get very upset. Like the one guy said, "Does this guy even watch hockey? How could he think the Rangers could possibly lose?"
Yeah.
All right, Stars plus 115, Avalanche 137, up at 6.5, which is pretty standard for Colorado Avalanche games for the total. What is the series here? Avalanche
2-1 Dallas.
2-1 Dallas. Does
Yeah.
Colorado even the odds here?
Yeah, I mean, I think so, yeah. But the way I'm playing it, I'm taking the over in the first period over. We did see an under last game, but I think we just get right back to overs here, especially in the spot for Colorado. So I do think that even up the series, but like if they're going to win, it's probably going to go over. They're not going to win a game like 2-1 or something. Like every game they've won these playoffs has gone over the total. So like they don't win games like 2-1. They win them like 4-3, 5-4. And the matchup history really strong to the over. Highly doubt that Colorado gets held to 1 goal here. I just cannot see that at all. Like it's like after they score 1 goal, you know they're gonna come out, score 3-4. I trust them to score goals, but not so much to prevent the Stars from scoring. So I'm not gonna take the Avalanche on the money line, first of all, because the over is a cheaper price. And if they do win, it's probably gonna go over. So yeah, I mean, obviously I don't trust Georgiev in this series. He's been one of the worst goalies in the playoffs so far. I do trust Ottinger, but in this spot against Colorado, I think he's up against it. So I think he's going to give up a few. And of course, we got to take Val Nichushkin to score a goal. He didn't score last game, but he scored every game in the playoffs besides the last one. He's plus 170 today. So obviously, like if the team only scores 1 goal, it's kind of unlikely he's going to be the only one. But yeah, Nichushkin to score a goal plus 170 also.
So you said, gun to your head on the side, you would lean Colorado.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like Dallas, but I don't know anything about it just from some things I read on Twitter. But I'm not. I'll put Dallas up for me as my pick for the game, but I won't be betting this. There you go.
Yeah, I could 100% see Dallas making it 3-1, but it's just like, bounce back spot for Colorado. They've always been good off a loss, so over is the play for me.
Over in first period, over. Our poll is leaning towards Colorado, not overwhelmingly, though. It's 49% to 38%. So as far as the viewers going, slightly leaning towards the Avalanche. Yep. All right, so let's move on to some basketball. Make sure you guys give System Plays a follow. That's his name, his Twitter name right there under his face. Appreciate him taking the time to join us. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Should be around the same time tomorrow. I'll let you know.
All right.
Later, man. All right, we got a couple. Oh, yeah, I can. Sorry, I was talking to Andy. Yes, I can if the money lines aren't right for the graphic. All right, so we got 9 minutes until NBA. We got Evan Singleton, Guy Boston. He's got like 6 names. You probably know who he is, though. His YouTube channel gets a lot of views. And then, of course, Chris is joining us. So let's get the poll up. Poll is running. And like I said, we got 8 minutes to hang out. What do you guys want to talk about? Kirms picks be so cheeks. I'm having the best calendar year of my career. Starting to think maybe you might not know what cheeks are. Do I have beef with Jay? I was just on the phone with Jay like an hour ago. No, I don't have beef with Jay. How about them Pacers yesterday? Yeah, that was probably the easiest cash of the playoffs. Pacers minus 5.5. Shout out to the Mets is right, man. And we took the Mets in the Discord. It wasn't on the ticket I posted for yesterday's baseball picks, but in the Discord, a few of us threw down a Mets money line bet like right before the game started. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You got some curling and cricket plays coming up? No, but starting tomorrow, there's going to be a WNBA segment on this show. We're going to have WNBA inserted right. I think we'll go NHL first, then WNBA, NBA, MLB. I think that'll be the order. Do I bet UFC? Yeah, but like for fun. I usually am just tailing somebody. I don't personally handicap it. Like I won't give out picks for it, but I'll bet it. Yeah, I'm excited to bet some WNBA this year. WNBA is far better to watch than the NBA. I mean, I've always been an NBA fan. I've never really tried watching the WNBA, though. Wow, okay. Hold on. WNBA is your most profitable sport? Okay. How do you calculate over-under? Well, I think the most overlooked aspect of betting totals is pace. Everyone looks at, hey, are they going to score? Defense, offense. Same goes for the NFL. You get a team, like, oh, their defense should play really well, so under, right? Well, if you get a couple, like the Colts last year, were running like a college football pace where final score of the game was 28-24, went way over the total. But if you look at the defense has actually played pretty well. There was just so many possessions because the Colts are running a snap every 19 seconds. So same goes for basketball. You can have a team who's playing good defense, but both teams are running at a fast pace. You give a team 120 possessions, they're going to put up a big number, whether the defense is playing well or not. So pace, I think, is the most overlooked aspect of betting totals. Sauce, college basketball March Madness most profitable for me? No, definitely not. Use round robin bets? Sometimes. Not always. Appreciate it. How to avoid getting limited? I mean, I've never had that issue because I bet $200 a game. So if I don't know how much you guys are betting, but I don't bet enough to raise any flags in that department. And also, I'm fortunate enough to live in New Jersey where I think it's 10 now. No, 9. I have 9 different sports books with accounts open on my phone. So I'm not only am I only betting $200 a game, but all my stuff is spread out. So I would say use multiple sports books. If you're somebody that's betting $1,000 a game, where you're starting it into the range where you might get limited if you're consistently winning, and make $350 bets on 3 different sports books. And yes, people definitely are exaggerating their limitations. A lot of times you can get limited from trying some of that positive EV stuff, trying some arbitrage stuff, where you'll just get flagged and auto-limited, and then the person will screenshot that and put it on Twitter as if they got limited from whatever. We don't have to talk about that. What's your go-to sports book? Whatever one has the best price, man. I don't care. Whatever one's offering me the best price, that's where I go to. That's the beauty of living in New Jersey is there's so many legal sportsbook apps on your phone. You could literally save so much money just by line shopping before every bet. It's 3 minutes till NBA. Kyle, you should use this time to use the bathroom instead of holding in Beaver and Toast from starting the show. Their time is valuable. I know their time is valuable. I pay for it. Trust me. I'm aware. Kyle, do you play slots or casino games? Not really, no. What's the difference between first 5 result and first 5 money line? I'm assuming you're asking the difference between first 5 run line and first 5 money line. It's just in run line, you're laying a run or laying a half run or catching a run. A money line, if it's tied, you push, and then a run line, you're laying a half run or catching a half run. How many batters the pitcher has to face to reach their over/under? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I'm sorry. PGA Championship picks will be Wednesday. I got the Big Nasty coming on the live show to give you some PGA Championship picks on Wednesday. Chris, what's up, man? How's your day?
Good, man. I won't complain. How about yours?
Solid. Got a good workout in, Yesterday, my brother had like a Mother's Day thing, so I was eating a bunch of crap. Got to get back on track.
I did the same thing. As soon as we finished the show yesterday, I ran out and grabbed some stuff, and we invited all the mothers over to our house, and
all the
it was
mothers.
a good time. All the mothers, celebrate the mothers, the mothers.
And it looks like there he is. Perfect timing. 3:59. Ev, haven't talked to you in a while, man. Everything going well for you?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Another day, another live show. Just same old.
I hear you.
So we got 1 minute until 4 o'clock in case some people set a reminder on their phone to join at 4 exactly. So stay on schedule here.
Chris, I don't think I met you, so nice to meet you.
I thought you
Hey,
guys
I'm
were...
a big fan of your work. I'm a big
Are
fan
you?
of your work, man. Yeah, I try to
no
check
kidding.
your channel out when I get a chance. It's
Appreciate it.
amazing stuff you're doing over there. You got a great community as well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, he does a good job. I'm sure many of the people in the comments watch his stuff every day. So, why don't we start with some Boston Celtics, Cleveland Cavaliers basketball? And for those of you, actually, you probably already know because it literally says Boston in his name. We got a Celtics fan on the panel here. And as much as I would love to sit here and play Cavs money line, no, there's just no way. What we just saw in Game 3, and I took Cleveland +8 in Game 3, so I lost my bet. It wasn't completely, I mean, it was still alive in the fourth quarter. Final score, the margin was 13. Boston won by, but if you take a look, there's some numbers from that game where straight up, I just don't know where the regression's coming from Cleveland. First of all, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley played well. They shot well from the floor. Cleveland actually got a little bit lucky in some aspects of the game. Did you know the Boston Celtics shot 3 of 14 from wide open threes, meaning 3-point shots that they had 6 feet or more of space? Just 3 of 14. So you look at that game and you take into account how Donovan Mitchell played, and you take into account how Evan Mobley played, take into account that Boston missed a lot of wide open threes. Yeah, it's a 13-point game, but it probably should have been in the 20s. So I don't really get it, because I would assume everybody on planet Earth is going to be laying the points with Boston here, which is why I actually haven't even bet this yet. I bet the other game, but I don't even have a bet down on this one. I'm kind of just fishing for ideas. I think if push comes to shove, I might end up throwing a bet down on Boston -8.5. But Ev, maybe you can shed some light here. Why didn't this line move? Why is it still 8.5? What am I missing?
The weird thing, really weird thing too, is Donovan Mitchell's still questionable. He was questionable this morning, still questionable. I think, I don't know if it's been updated, but and it was like he wasn't present at their workouts this morning, or their shoot around, excuse me. So I don't understand where that's coming from, why it isn't really budging. I still don't hate the idea of taking the Celtics, especially if Mitchell's going to be out. So I am with you there, but it smells kind of trappy. Now, I've walked into plenty of traps before, and sometimes the reward's worth that risk of stepping in the bear trap. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not saying don't go there, but it smells kind of fishy. Allen could be coming back, so maybe there's your reason of the line not really moving. But yeah, I like the Celtics in this one. I had another, and also just being a Celtics fan, like the similarity between them losing game 2 to the Heat and then just not looking back, it was remarkably similar. Like, they go and stomp Cleveland in Cleveland game 1, and then the rest of the series was, chalked for Miami. But I do also like my second play in this one was Evan Mobley over in points. Realistically, just from the standpoint of without Kristaps's length, there's like Al Horford's not even really getting that matchup. They keep putting Luke Cornett on him, and he is dominating Luke Cornett. They tried to throw Tillman at him, and Tillman just kind of stinks. So it's like Mobley seems like the Cavs sort of X factor, the Achilles heel to the Celtics in the series, and I've taken his points in last couple games, and I like it. So yeah, I like the Celtics though, and especially if Mitchell's going to be out, like It may be worth gambling on that line. That's
exactly what I was going to say. And if Donovan Mitchell's out, I mean, his shot attempts are just going to go through the ceiling. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Tillman, man. When the Celtics acquired Tillman, I was singing his praises. I was like, man, Tillman off the bench as your backup 5 is so sick. And then you saw him come off the bench a couple times, and you're like, maybe my analysis is off on that. Like, he just doesn't look that great.
I think that about every trade the Celtics make, though. So it's a 10% hit rate.
Yeah. So yeah, Evan Mobley over 14.5 points. Sounds good. Chris, now I know you had, actually, I'm pretty sure it was you. Didn't you take Cleveland team total under in game 3? I was circling that.
No, I did not.
I
gave out first half. Remember I said they bounced back. It was -4.5.
Yeah.
Today though, you read my mind, because that's what I did play today. I did play the Cavs team total under. I think you can get it at 99.5. It had moved down to 98 a little bit earlier, but now it's back up to 99. So that's a little, speaking of the sketchiness that you guys are talking about. But real quick, before I get into that team total, I want to talk about something Guy Boston mentioned just now. The Evan Mobley points prop. So apparently, like, after game 3, Donovan Mitchell went to Evan Mobley after the game and repeated. I heard it's rumored that he said this 10 times in a row. Just kept repeating, we need you to be more aggressive. If we're going to have a chance, we need you to be more aggressive, 10 times in a row. So that goes well for that prop as well. But outside of that, like this team is not the greatest shooting team. I'm talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers, of course, and they're just going to keep chucking. We talked about this, guy. I don't think that they're going to make them. I think Boston continues to play really good on the defensive end. So even if their shots aren't falling, which is why I always kind of look towards the under, because Boston can not hit their team total and still, win the game and cover the spread. And the scary part about Boston is that when they win, they cover every single time. Like they've played 8 games so far in the playoffs, and they've either won by double digits or lost by double digits. So if you like Boston, just lay the number. Don't be too afraid of it. Also, super strong trend that I found was that road teams coming off a road win in Game 4 that are laying 8 points or more, 15, 2, and 1 against the spread. It says that Boston not only wins, but they take care of business today and win this game by double digits, which bodes well with Boston, in the playoffs so far. 6-0 straight up, 6-0 against the spread here.
Yeah, and by the way, it was you, Capper, that gave out the Cleveland team total under. That's who I knew somebody on this show did. And what you mentioned about Cleveland shooting, that's a good point, and I talked about it last night. So if you're looking to bet Cleveland, and I saw Todd Fox is in the comments taking Cleveland money line, just know you have my respect. You don't have my tail, but you have my respect. So in Game 3, Cleveland shot 42.9% from the floor, I believe it was, and you could look at that and be like, they're bound to shoot better. In game 3, I'm sorry. They're bound to shoot better in Game 4. I guess you could say that, but Cleveland's only shooting 44.7% from the floor in these playoffs. So if you take that into account, then 42.9% doesn't even sound that bad. It's pretty much that's what they've been in the playoffs. So I don't even know how much room for regression there is there. So it would have to be Boston. Maybe I also was considering the Cleveland team total under. I don't know. I don't feel good about this game at all. I've had zero interest in this series from the jump. As soon as the series started, I hated it.
Meanwhile, Kyle, this is the one I keep cashing in. I gotta stay in this series. I need this to go 7 somehow. But
I'm 1-2 in this series. 1-2.
To your point about the defense, guys, Celtics have played 3 road games so far. They're 3-0 straight up, 3-0 against the spread, winning by an average of 15.7 points per game. They're holding their opponents to 41.7% shooting from the field and 31% from the 3-point line. And no team, like the Heat scored 84, 88, and the Cavs just scored 93. So that team total 99.5 seems like a pretty good look here.
Yeah, I agree. I get the only way that loses is if Cleveland comes out and shoots like they did in Game 2, which just seems way more of an outlier than anything else, if you ask me. So let's move on to the next game. By the way, the community in that one, 68% of you said you would lay the points with Boston. Just 19% said you would take the 8.5. That's absolutely terrifying. You got to know sportsbooks are playing against a lot of Celtics money. Celtics money line is going to be in every single parlay known to man this tonight. So just know that. All right. Now let's get to a more interesting series. And I kind of like my bet in this one. Okay, so 215.5 is the total. All right, so I'll go first. I played Oklahoma City on the money line here, and at first when I was making the video last night, I knew I was going to bet Oklahoma City, and I was kind of like, this feels kind of, it looks like I don't have a Thunder graphic here, so I'll just write it. I knew I was going to play Oklahoma City, but it was like, it feels kind of coin flippy. But the more I looked at it, the more I actually really liked Oklahoma City. Now, what happened in Game 3 was Dallas won the rebounding battle, which is kind of why I bet Dallas in Game 3, was because I was like, hey, this team should out-rebound Oklahoma City. Here's the thing. They won the rebounding battle and still almost lost, despite Oklahoma City shooting 33.3% from outside. And that's what I'm looking at here. Oklahoma City, 2 games in a row, shot 33% from 3. And if you're thinking, Kyle, Oklahoma City's not really a 3-point shooting team, well, maybe they don't take a ton of them, but they're actually first in the NBA in 3-point percentage. They're the most efficient 3-point shooting team in the league. So we're talking about back-to-back poor outside shooting nights for the Thunder that are really uncharacteristic. The reason Oklahoma City doesn't get branded as a 3-point shooting team is they don't take a ton of them. But when they do take them, they hit them at the highest rate. in the NFL. Holy shit, in the NBA as far as efficiency goes. So I think we see Oklahoma City finally hit some of their outside shots, like we saw in Game 1 when they shot 46% from 3 and 1 comfortably. And even if Dallas is going to win the rebounding battle again, it was 48-41, which sounds about right where it should be. The final that came down to the wire. If Kyrie Irving misses that floater, who knows what the end of that game looks like? So even if we see the same exact game as far as rebounds and turnovers go, which is what I think we'll see, I just expect some more shots to fall from the outside for Oklahoma City, and they should win. Also, look, I don't know what my thoughts are on Luka Doncic anymore. I guess he's just too hurt to even consider. He's shooting the ball terribly inefficient. So he's still a great player. He had 15 rebounds last game, but Luka Doncic isn't Luka Doncic to me if he's shooting 36% from the floor. So, I think the Thunder are the side to be on here, and then we'll see where we're at, regroup and take a look at Game 5. So I like Oklahoma City. I took the money line too. Gentlemen?
I'm on the same train as you there. I think that it's too easy to forget that OKC was clearly the better team in game number 1. I know that we go and look at game 2, then even game 3, like you said, kind of comes down to the wire. But the brand of basketball, I would say, and this is not really analytical backed, but it's the brand of basketball that both these teams have played have been very head-to-head so far. So in terms of Dallas looking really good in game 2, OKC looking good in game 1, and then game number 3, like that was just a hard-fought game. I think this series is kind of, I don't want to say going the distance, but I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever, even though, you have kind of a variance in seeding there. But OKC seems like this is a good spot to bounce back. Dallas steals one on their turf, and this line also kind of screams trappy to me as well. But you know what, if maybe there's like a thing that says 2 traps make a right or something, because I do think that this 2 traps
make a right. I gotta put that on a t-shirt.
Put that on a t-shirt, because I just do see this being like a spot in which, like Dallas looked better in game 2. I don't know if they totally did. Like OKC at points to that game kind of slugged off and lost that game just as much as Dallas won it in game number 3. I'm kind of reminiscing back to game number 1 where OKC was by far and away the better team in that one. I see this being 2-2 after 4. I probably would have told you that, prior to even game 1. So I'm sticking with it. I actually took them. I didn't even take the points. I took them on the money line today.
Now, so obviously you look at the line and you could say that a little bit. It looks a little sketchy, but to be honest, if you take a step back and look at it, Dallas was 2.5 3-point favorites in game 3. They won and covered, and then they dropped the line. So if you look at it in relation to game 3, it actually doesn't look that bad. In fact, if you're not watching these games and you're just looking at box scores, you're like, well, Dallas just won and covered a game with a higher. Why wouldn't I take them again? So I don't think it looks that bad.
I guess that just shows my confidence, I guess, in OKC, which isn't. So now I'm just like determining my own traps. I'm the trap whisperer.
The trap whisperer, he says.
T-shirt ideas, Kyle.
Well, yeah, just flooding with them. Chris?
Oh, man. I can't go against you guys here. I talked about it in my video this morning as well. And to you, that trend, I looked into that specifically. Teams who won game 3, the game went under, but the line is shorter. Those teams are just 13 and 19 straight up in game 4s. So that bodes well here. But that leads me to the Dallas team total under, because those games are 17-6 to the under. So it says that the team that lost game 3 definitely comes out a little bit more desperate. If you're OKC, you can't go back to OKC down 3-1. I mean, the series probably is over if you have to win 3 in a row. I love what I heard in the post-game interview from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jalen Williams, and from Coach Mark Daigneault as well. I think the outliers in game 3, Kyle, and you continuously like make this a point, and I think it has to be reiterated. The offensive rebound, it was 15-6. So we know that Dallas is a better rebounding team, but Mark Daigneault said in the post-game interview they're going to plan to use Jalen Williams a little bit more. Not Jalen Williams, the roof that Jalen Williams, but Arkansas Jalen Williams off the bench.
Arkansas
right?
Jalen Williams.
Yeah, Arkansas Jalen Williams. They're going to bring him in off the bench and run him with Chet Holmgren a tad bit more, and I think that does alleviate some of the offensive rebounds that they've been giving up. So pretty sure to be a counter that from Jason Kidd, but hopefully tonight it's just successful. Because that to me determined the game. 11 more offensive rebounds. OKC, we got to look at it. OKC actually shot the ball better. They shot 46% from the floor versus Dallas, who only shot 43%. So that, and then the points off turnovers. OKC's not a team that really turns the ball over a lot. Dallas got 18 points off of their 11 turnovers. I think they turned the ball over. No, 14 turnovers. And they won the net discrepancy. It was an 8-point advantage there off points off turnovers as well. So I think OKC just comes out a tad bit more focused. They rebound the ball a little bit better. Continue to put Luka in the Dort chamber because that's why he hasn't been successful. Of course, with him being injured. And I do think that they win the game. I like the team total under 107.5 is the number. Dallas hasn't scored 108 points, but the one game that was an outlier in game 2 where they shot the ball so well. And then the last thing I want to mention is PJ Washington. Like, this guy has been nuclear in the playoffs in the last 2 games. And I do think that there's going to be some regression there. If you watch Shai Gilgeous-Alexander say, yeah, we definitely have to turn his water off if we're going to, win the series. And I think that happens. Last point I want to make. Jalen Williams from Arkansas. Points, rebounds, and assists, 9.5. I went back and looked at his box score with Mark Daigneault talking about him playing more minutes in this spot. He went over in game 1, his points, rebounds, and assists. He had 22 in game 1. He played 17 minutes. In game 2, he played 3 less minutes, but he still went over. He finished with 14 points, rebounds, and assists. And in game 3, he saw 13 minutes, only shot the ball twice, and still finished with 7 rebounds and assists. So I like his points, rebounds, and assists
and
to
that's
go over the numbers. Jaylin. Yeah. Roof, not that one.
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, over 9.5 points, rebounds, and assists. You can get it at plus money. I do think that he's going to play, an intricate role of rebounding the basketball, making some shots, and I think he's going to play more minutes, which is going to be, equal more opportunity. So I actually love this game. I'm locked in on all of those.
Yeah, you got a lot of action open here, and one thing I will say. Look, I know 10 games isn't the hugest sample size, but since 2014, 1 seeds that go into Game 4 down 2-1 in the series are 8-2 straight up, 7-3 against the spread. So historically, dating back the last 10 years, 1 seeds usually even up the series when they're down in Game 4. So I
like that Jay will play a lot.
Yeah, I liked it too, especially when he mentioned that in the press conference, the coach said he's going to play more.
I like it.
So, ladder, Jay Williams rebounds there? I'm not a ladder guy.
Me either.
All right, so let's move on to some baseball. Make sure you guys give Chris a follow. And Chris, you going to be ready for some WNBA on the show tomorrow?
I am. Yes, I will be. Bringing the WNBA. I've been going through getting all my notes ready. I think it's 4 games on the slate for tomorrow, so we'll have a couple picks for sure.
All right, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Best of luck tonight, fellas. Yes, sir.
Hey, you
have
too.
a good one. Best of luck to the community as well. I'm out.
All right, it's baseball time. Let's see if the clowns are ready. Prop Beaver, want to tell us about your weekend?
No.
All right. Your mic's always so loud.
I just be yelling and shit. Nah, I don't know why it's so loud, honestly. You want me to move it down a little bit?
No, I just turned it down manually.
All right, cool.
So we got Blue Jays, Orioles first. Have you talked to Toast?
No. Did you put on the thing that it'd be starting at 4:30? Because maybe...
Oh, yeah. So maybe he's coming in 12 minutes.
I mean, I could shoot him a text real quick or give him a call.
Well, no, we could get started without him. It's all right. I did in the tweet. I did say 4:30 for baseball, so he's probably gonna be here any minute. But I know that you personally have a play in this first game. That's why I put you up first. It's Toronto at Baltimore, and I like your play because I was considering taking Toronto in this one. I didn't do it. I didn't bet this yet, but I was considering it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to keep fading the Baltimore Orioles through the first 5 against starting right-handed pitching. I mean, on what planet is an offense that's producing at the rate they're producing at a -190 favorite? I understand that Corbin Burns is on the mound here, and I'm not even the biggest Berrios believer. I mean, he just got his shit rocked against Philly, but everybody's getting killed against Philly right now, and it's hard to deny the fact that Jose Berrios completely owns this Orioles team. 10-1. 10-1 in his last 13 starts against them. 2.84 ERA, 105 whip. Even on the road, where road Berrios, can't back that guy. 6-1 with a 2.62 ERA, 1 whip at Baltimore in his last 7 starts. I mean, that's really impressive, because if you look at Berrios' career, what's his worst spot? On the road against lefties. Well, this season, he's actually better against lefties. He must have changed his arsenal or something, because he's producing at a much higher level. That is very important for us, because this is an Orioles team that starts 7 lefties daily. And this Orioles lineup is dull right now against starting right-handed pitching. Last 7 to face him, 2.06 ERA, 0.7 home run per 9, 109 whip. Against righties through the first 5 over the last 2 weeks, 26 in WRC+, 25th in ISO, and 25th in OBP. So I think Berrios can hold him to 2 or less here through the first 5. On the other side, we got Burns, and I know, fading Corbin Burns, not a fun time, very scary, but he's been 4 more vulnerable against righties. This is the Jays lineup that tends to start a lot more righties. I did see that they dropped their lineup, and there was a bit more lefties in it today. I saw that Vogelback's in there today, but Vogelback has a pretty great history against Burns, so I'm not really mad about that. Before the Obergem yesterday, the Jays bats actually weren't a disgrace against righties lately. I mean, if you look from April 28th to May 11th, 4th in WRC+, 4th in ISO, 4th in WOBA. Previous 7 righties to face them, 4.81 ERA, 2.1 home run per 9, 1.4 whip. I mean, after the Orioles started off hot with Burns on the mound, they provided him 7.4 runs per game his first 5 starts. Look at the run support he's got in his last 3 starts. 2 combined runs. I just feel like all the value in the world is on the Jays here.
I like it. Ev, what are your thoughts on Prop Beaver's Blue Jays first 5?
Yeah, I'm there with him. I actually said in my video today that I wouldn't be surprised if Berrios does have a nice game. To your point, Prop Beaver, like, this is a Baltimore team against righties that you do, like, I think publicly gets kind of hyped, and they have obviously a really good lineup, but you look at the numbers, even just the last 30 and whatnot, they're not necessarily crushing righties by any means. And for them to be priced where they are, I had to kind of say, okay, give me Toronto. And then looking into it, like, obviously with that bullpen, I don't necessarily think that it's worth going full game, or considering, like, that's where I think, you know what could hit the fan. So I'm right there with you with Toronto first 5. I haven't bet it, but it was something that I said earlier today, just almost by default based on the Baltimore price and how they hit righties. I can't ignore the fact that, using your words, Prop Beaver, the value has to be on Toronto today.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same. I was looking full game, though. Let's hear what Toast thinks first.
Sorry for being late. I didn't know
you weren't late.
started
We weren't late.
early.
We started early. You're fine.
Toronto first 5 money line, Toronto full game money line. I split them up. I did 0.35 full game, 0.5 first half. I can't really add much more than what Beaver said. I just think that we're getting a crazy good price against a Baltimore team that I consider to be kind of overvalued on an everyday basis. That doesn't mean I'm trying to fade Baltimore every day, but I think that sometimes we get some ridiculous prices against this team, and I think that we're getting it here. I understand that Berrios' last start on the road against Philadelphia, he got lit up, and his last start against Baltimore on the road, he got lit up as well. But I actually I'm sure Beaver touched on this. The previous starts before that, he had been fantastic. I have no reason to believe that he doesn't pitch well today. And yes, Baltimore did have a lot of their guys rested in their bullpen yesterday, but they've also worked a lot in the last week or so. So I do think that Toronto has a pretty decent edge in bullpen as well. So yeah, I split my money up first 5 in full game, but yeah, I'm on Toronto as well.
Here's the thing. So I saw what you guys saw, that Baltimore's one of the worst lineups in baseball recently against right-handed pitching. They've been blanked by all kinds of pitchers, and Berrios would be one of their toughest pitchers that they've seen recently. So I completely get that. But here's why I didn't actually bet the Blue Jays. Despite Baltimore struggling to get to these starting pitchers, they're still winning the games. So I get the first 5, but they still find a way to win. So maybe you guys could use the angle of, hey, they keep crushing these bullpens. So your fear of Baltimore through the first 5 shouldn't exist. And I get it. It would just be Toronto or pass for me. Unfortunately, it's just going to be a pass. I have some bets down in the MLB tonight. This isn't one of them.
So just to address that, I was kind of looking at that too. I'm like, man, this team always seems to win, and that's very true. But if you go back to the last 10 games, they're winning a lot of games 2-1, 3-0, 2-0. I mean,
so what about an
4-2.
under?
So I can see that as well. My point being is that usually when those games are close like that, you start losing some of those close games more times than not. So that's what gave me more confidence. That's why I ended up splitting it up a little bit.
Like the Mariners were winning a bunch of close games, and now they're performing pretty mediocrely.
100%.
And I want to show you guys something very quick before we move on to the next game here, just to show you what I'm looking at. So Baltimore's bats right here. See, versus righties, it's one of the worst in baseball recently. And then look at righty starters against the Orioles here. Zach Allen, 6 base runners and 2 runs in 6 innings. No runs on Trevor Williams. No runs on Nick Martinez. No runs on Hunter Green. No runs on Luis Gil. 1 run on Clark Schmidt. So these righty starters are blanking Baltimore. So Perrios should pitch well. So yeah, maybe Toronto first 5. But I like the other bets I have down better than this one. So Blue Jays are passing me. Next up, Miami versus Detroit. Looks like I got Evan up first for this one. I don't trust either lineup, but I don't trust either starting pitcher.
Dude, I should have put this morning.
Probably not the best leadoff hitter for this one, because this is one of the games that I probably spent 3 seconds on, and that was just seeing who the starters were, and then I was out. So yeah,
same. So, yeah, I'm feeling the same. Let's bring up Toast.
So okay, here's my thing. Miami's absolutely terrible. Sixto's been terrible. He was decent his last couple starts on the road. I guess it's only only 2 starts on the road this year. On the road at Atlanta, 2 2/3, he got lit up. It is what it is. And then he went on the road to Oakland, who, keep in mind, has been pretty good against right-handed pitching over the last couple of weeks. I think a top 5 or at least top 10 lineup in Major League Baseball. And he pitched well in Oakland. We know that this Tigers team struggles. I'm not betting the Marlins, but I do think that all the values on the Marlins. The issue is, and again, I wouldn't have bet it anyway, the Marlins bullpen is pretty damn taxed. They used Tanner Scott, who's their closer, for 39 pitches yesterday. Foucher, who's their setup guys, went 2 of the last 3. Nardi, Bender both went 15 and 23. Bender's went 2 of the last 3. So Miami's bullpen is pretty damn taxed as well. So it'd be Detroit minus 1.5 or pass, but I'm not really trying to lay 1.5 with Matt Manning and this Detroit bullpen that's continuing to serve me losses over the last week.
And I want to bring let's bring Prop Beaver up. Toast said Miami or pass, by the way. So it didn't sound like he actually is really betting that one. Prop Beaver, check this out. So pitch mix. Matt Manning's main 2 pitches. 89% of Matt Manning's pitches are either a 4-seam fastball or a slider. The Marlins against those 2 pitches, 30th and 28th. What do you do with this game, man?
That's pretty interesting, because we'll discuss that after the show. Yeah, so basically, I don't know. I agree with Toast. I think the value's on the Marlins here. I was trying to fade Matt Manning in some way. The problem is that I missed the value, simply put. Yeah. This total was at 8 earlier today. I would have loved this total at 8. It's not at 8. It's at 9 now. So, yeah. And then on top of that, the Marlins team total was at plus 100 this morning. It's at minus 130, minus 140 now in some books. So I just completely missed the value here. I like what the Marlins are doing right now against right-handed pitching. I know that sounds a bit shocking, but they've now managed 5+ hits off 5 straight righties, averaging 6.2. Last 6 righties to face them have combined for a 5.10 ERA, 2.1 home run per 9, 1.3 whip. It's like these guys are scrub either. I mean, we got Zach Wheeler, we got Walker in there, Stone, Yamamoto, Buehler. I mean, Manning started off the season and he had a gem against a dead Mets lineup. Last 2 starts, he looked pretty awful. Allowed 5 and 7 hits in those 2 starts. He's always been a bit more vulnerable against lefties. And the Marlins lineup, their hot bats right now are all left-handed batters. So what I would do in this game, if my family was on the line and I had to place a bet, Manning, same game parlay, Manning 5+ hits allowed, Miami team total over 2.5, minus 115.
So you're saying in this scenario, someone has taken your family hostage and their freedom.
In the scenario, Dastardly Dog is taking your family, put them on the train tracks. You go ahead and you bet this.
And you have to.
You say minus 115 or minus 150?
Let's go on.
On what planet would I give that out at minus 150? No, minus 115.
Your family's on the line. I don't know what kind of risks you're willing to take for your family.
I would happily take a minus 150 with my family on the line. What are you talking? You're like, the price isn't there. I just can't do it.
I'm like, Jesus Christ, Beaver.
Don't see the value in that.
I'm only playing minus 110s with the family on the line. I like to stick close.
My apologies.
Go, on what planet would I do that?
I'm like, whoa.
You said your family's on the line. All right, that's minus 105. Oh, that's some funny shit. Actually, I want to bring up Toast first. Oh, no, Prop Beaver has a bet in this game, so that's why I put him first. Prop Beaver, I bet this game. I don't care if the price looks sketchy. I took Phillies money line, and I laid 1.5. I put a half unit on each, so I'm all in on the Phillies here. I'm done trying to be skeptical of how the odds makers are pricing this Phillies team. Clearly, they don't respect them. I don't care. I'm fading the Mets after a walk-off win on Sunday Night Baseball. Say less. I money line minus 1.5.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to catch much of an argument from me in terms of the side. I mean, the Mets aren't doing much against starting left-handed pitching. I am a Christopher Sanchez fan. Has he looked a bit shakier on the road this season? Why, absolutely. But Mets are just not good against lefties. Even though the Phillies have looked a bit more vulnerable against lefties lately, they've still produced at a pretty decent level. So, yeah, I mean, you're not going to catch an argument from me there. I bet Manaea here. I took his over 4.5 Ks this morning at minus 152. That's completely blowing out of the water. Can't take that anymore. You can still take the over 5.5 Ks, though, at plus 125. I got that like plus 150. I still think that there's tons of value there. I love the spot for Manaea to rack up some Ks here because this was the Phillies lineup last year. There was 27th in K percentage against lefties. Always a team you look to target in terms of K overs from starting left-handed pitching. But they started off the season on a hot note. They were actually 16th in K percentage with a 4% decrease in terms of that K percentage against lefties. All of a sudden, though, you look at the last 5 lefties to face them. 4 of those guys absolutely smoked their K total and hit 6+ Ks in the process. During that span, Phillies are 29th in K percentage against lefties. And let's look at these 5 pitchers. I mean, we got Braxton Garrett with 8 Ks in his first start back from injury. I mean, Jesus Christ. Luzardo with 8 Ks, who was looking awful and was also his first start back from injury. Patrick Sandoval with 10 Ks, not even a K guy, and he's also struggled. And then we got Tyler Anderson's bum ass, who has 0 K stuff and still put up 6 Ks against this Phillies lineup. They're whiffing away against lefties right now. The current projected lineup against lefties only has 2 members with a K percentage below 20% against lefties over the last 2 weeks. 6 of those guys have a K percentage above 25%. What makes me feel really confident about this being a great bounce back spot for Manaea is the fact that he's only 3-4 in the season. He's under his last 4 or 5, but look at who we faced. His last 5 games were against the Royals, Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, and Cardinals. Those are all top 10 offenses in limiting K percentage against lefties. This is by far his easiest challenge on the year, and he has a massive 35% K rate against lefties. Harper, Marsh, Schwarber, all lefties. Marsh, 47 K percentage against lefties. Schwarber, 37 K percentage against lefties. I just feel like Manaea is going to deal here in the K department. Does he give up some runs? I don't know, and I don't give a shit. You could get shelled and rack up the Ks. Ask Dean Kramer. So, yeah, I like some Ks here from Manaea.
No Schwarber tonight, just FYI, Beaver.
No! What? Are
Sorry.
you fucking kidding me?
I'm sorry. I knew that was going to bother you. I knew it.
Are you kidding me?
I'm sorry.
Dude, no. Man.
I know. I knew that was going to piss you off.
Annoying, bro.
Yeah, I knew that was going to piss you off.
Have you got a look in this one?
I do. I like Philly first 5 money line. Kind of on the same note of what you said. Like at first, I kept trying to poke holes in the Phillies' success or the runs that they're scoring or even getting to teams early and kind of lose that argument pretty quickly as you look into it. And overall, I mean, it's just, I would go full game too. So I'm with you there. The reason being I'm just going first 5 would be that regardless of bullpens being taxed or not, this still isn't a Philly bullpen that I love. Mets, I think, and I believe actually a decent amount of the Philly guys pitched yesterday. Mets better bullpen on paper, but I guess they're taxed as well. So first 5 or full game, I like both, but I'm gonna rock with first 5 here. I like honestly, just forget the pitchers for a sec. Phillies offense versus Mets offense. Philly going up against lefty. New York going against lefties. Give me Phillies all day long.
Yep. Couldn't agree more. And the Phillies bullpen is more taxed than the Mets, but the Mets bullpen is also pretty taxed. So
yeah, like I said, I don't mind the money line overall either.
All right, I'm calling off the dogs. I was about to throw my fist through my computer, but it turns out Garrett Stubbs, he is in the lineup. He's a lefty. He strikes out at a 50% rate against lefties. We're going to be okay. No Schwarby, but we got Stubbsy at the back of the lineup. So
Thank
No
God.
need to
Family
hurt your
safe.
families.
Family safe.
Shout out Garrett Stubbs.
Thank God, Garrett.
Not
So-
all heroes wear capes. We know it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Prop Beaver's family is okay. Toast, what are your thoughts on laying the 1.5 here with the big number?
Not a chance in hell. This is a pure pass for me. I would lean Phillies first 5 if my family was on the line. I would lean Phillies first 5 as well. But I'm not backing the Phillies when Alvarado's went 2 of the last 3 days. Hoffman's went back to back. Stroms went back to back. I can't do it with those 3 guys out of the lineup or out of the bullpen. So it'd be Philly first 5 or pass. When I saw the Phillies put out the B lineup tonight, it just kind of made me not want to bet it. So Rojas and Stubbs at the bottom of that lineup. Matter of fact, Merrifield kind of sucks too at the top. So I'm just really not trying to get in front of. Yeah, I'm good on this one.
All right, let's move on to the next game then. And the next game is Rays Boston. I bet this one already, Toast. I took the Rays straight up. Yeah.
Well, I'm on Boston first 5. So
What?
yeah, Zach Leffin on the road in Boston. Yeah, I'm good.
Dude, the Rays have been hitting, and Cutter Crawford can't pitch in
Relax.
Fenway.
Okay.
All right, I'll put up mine then.
They've
And-
been
and
hitting.
just-
lately?
Yeah, well, hold on.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say. I don't.
And okay, so you are in the first 5, which makes me feel a little bit better because Boston is missing their 2 main arms in the bullpen,
Yeah.
which was part of the reason for my bet.
Okay, I'll give you that.
It looks like I don't have a Boston first 5 graphic, so I'll just type it. All right, go ahead.
Look, I'm just going to continue to bet on Cutter Crawford. I'm going to continue to find ways to bet on him. I truly think that he's finding ways to pitch extremely well. His last time out on the road at Atlanta, 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. The prior 2 starts before that, one of them against San Francisco at home was good, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. He had a bad start against the Cubs that I think are kind of throwing his numbers off, where he went 6 innings, gave up 10 hits and 3 runs. But again, the previous 2 starts at home prior to that, Cleveland and Boston, 5 2/3 innings against Cleveland, 5 innings against Boston, both of them 2 hits, no runs. He faced this Rays team last year at home, only went 3 innings, gave up 3 hits and a run. I think Cutter Crawford pitches really well here today. Zach Eflin on the road for me is just an absolute fade. His last 2 starts on the road against the White Sox and Milwaukee, 6 innings against the White Sox, 9 hits, 4 runs. 5 2/3 against Milwaukee, 6 hits, 3 runs. I think that if he gives up 2 or 3 runs, I win this bet in the first 5. So yeah, Boston first 5 for me.
I don't hate the look at first 5. I want to take back my gasp at your bet. I actually understand the bet from the first 5, but the Rays have been hitting much better. I don't get how you can argue that. Ev, what do you think?
I didn't mind Tampa Bay earlier, but when it was, I believe when I looked this morning, it was plus 100. So I was thinking, regardless of home away splits, I liked Eflin and the Rays plus money. I didn't bet it, but I just couldn't seem to get to the Red Sox, and I'm a Boston fan, and this Red Sox team, like every win they have or every piece of success, I just keep finding hollow because we were all drilled in this offseason how bad they were going to be. And don't get me wrong, they haven't been great, but you know, some of these pitchers like Crawford, like Houck, like these guys, I almost doubt. So I saw Rays plus money with what I would deem a better pitcher on the mound. And I lean that way.
I think most people would deem a better pitcher. Cutter Crawford is fool's gold.
Beaver? Who's better?
First 5 over 4, minus 125. I think both these guys get hit up. I don't like Zach Eflin to me. I mean, I've never been the biggest Zach Eflin guy, and then you put him on the road. I mean, he's always been much more vulnerable on the road. That is continuing this season. Is the Red Sox lineup against righties great? No, they're actually dog shit, but they have some fantastic marks against him. And through 4 starts against him since 2020, 6.16 ERA, 1.47 WHIP, 2.4 home runs per 9, allowed 3+ runs through the first 5 in all 3 of those. And then on the other side, we got Cutter Crawford. I mean, the books continue to put their nuts on the table saying Cutter Crawford's going to get hit up. Cutter Crawford's going to get hit up. And he doesn't get hit up. His line, again, for ERA, at 2.5. He's gone under 7 of 8 starts thus far. So they keep taking the staunch stance that he's going to get hit up. And I mean, if you look at the last 4 starts, he does look a lot more vulnerable. The WOBA's 200 points higher. K to BB percentage is 5% lower. The WHIP is 50 points worse. The XFIP's about 70+ points worse. So His worst spot is at home against righties. He's going to face a Rays lineup to start 6 of them. Through 3 starts against them, he's got a 6.39 ERA. I just think that there's going to be runs here early. You take 2 underwhelming offenses. You have 2 high-profile arms on the mound. I mean, how does this not be a 1-0 first 5? That's exactly why I think there's runs. So, yeah.
I don't understand how you guys aren't looking in the last 14.
Because I can see all those greens, and then you look at the starters: Gill, Schmidt, Flexen, Soroka, Clevenger, Severino, Scott, Bryce Wilson,
I mean,
Eddie, Cannon,
they just got,
again.
If you want to say they were hot against righties, sure, they've hit up some bullpens and basically Severino, Soroka, and Clevenger. But 6 innings of 1-run baseball by Chris Flexen at home.
Flexen's dealing right now.
Shut the hell up. 6.2 innings of shutout baseball by Clark Schmidt. 6 innings of shutout baseball by Luis Gill. 6.2
also
innings
pitching
of
well.
1-inning baseball by Christian Scott. 6 innings of shutout baseball by Colin Rea. This team had a 3-game stretch of good baseball against starting righties and has been pissed otherwise. I'm just saying. I'm on the first 5 over, so I hope they hit here. I'm just saying. I mean, I think those numbers are a bit inflated.
You're handicapping the game based on their MLB The Show rating. Gill's pitching well. Freaking Flexen's pitching well.
If it was by their MLB The Show rating, that'd be a 58 and a 62 overall pitcher, and I'd be asking you.
Please tell me you don't have their overalls memorized. Please tell me you were making up numbers. Please.
I make up numbers, but they're probably deadly accurate because I am goated.
Someone get me, someone in the comments, what are the ratings of those 2 guys on MLB The Show? I'm going to be terrified if he nailed that.
Also, Rafi Devers heating up. Last 16 games, 367 average, 567 slug. Watch out.
So the 2 pitchers I need overall ratings for are F. No, wrong game. What?
You're right.
Eflin. No, it was Flexen and Gill.
And
Heel, whatever. If they're 63 and 58, I swear I'm gonna be terrified of you. All right, Cubs, Braves. Prop Beaver's favorite player in baseball, Goda Imanaga on the mound. I think he gets smacked up today, but I didn't have an in me to pull a trigger on an expensive Braves money line. I was considering maybe a Braves team total over. I like the Braves to hit up Imanaga. Toast just gave me the face, like absolutely not. So Toast on the other side.
Can I ask why you think that?
I think Imanaga's a little bit fraudulent. And on the road in Atlanta, damn it, I'll pull up the spreadsheet and tell you why. I swear I saw something that I think
I know why, Kyle. Who the fuck has he faced? Ask yourself that. Who has he faced? Shota Imanaga faced the Padres, one of the worst offenses in baseball against lefties right now. The Mets, one of the worst offenses in baseball against lefties. The Red Sox, one of the worst offenses in baseball against lefties. The Miami Marlins, one of the worst offenses in baseball against lefties. The Dodgers, when they were struggling against lefties. The Colorado Rockies at home, one of the worst baseball offenses in baseball against lefty in the day. Even worse. So about how many starts does he have? 7? 6 of them are against bottom 10 offenses against lefties.
Well, it's a good thing last 14 days, Braves are 30th in WRC plus OPS and WOBA.
Last 14 days for lefty stats? Come on, man.
You know better.
I said 30.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. My bad. My hearing's a bit rough.
Can we let Evan go?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
With that being said, I like the Braves tonight. I'm not necessarily, I can't even pronounce his name, but Shota Imanaga, no big deal, kind of did it right there. But I'm not saying that what he's done so far is hollow. I do like him. I think he's going to have a lot of success, but to me, I like the Braves bats in this spot, and I don't think this is going to be the highest of scoring game. So I guess I differ from you, Kyle, in terms of, Imanaga getting got in a sense, but I do think that the Braves are going to have some timely runs here. I think that I could be wrong, or it's like past, but I think the weather is going to be pretty bad in this one too.
Didn't know that.
I haven't looked at it in a few hours. Is that accurate? But
it's in danger of being postponed / delayed / canceled. 11% decrease in home runs, 14% decrease in extra base, and -7% decrease.
So I guess I just trust, if it's a low scoring game, that, like I said, the timely hits of the Braves against lefties.
Yeah, I put up Braves money line for me because that's I was circling the same thing. Haven't bet that. And Prop Beaver, you are officially off the hook. So Chris Flexen is a 67 overall, and Heel or whatever is a 62. So you did not nail them exactly. Thank you.
MLB The Show needs to get in the lab. We got Flexen with a higher rating than Gil. I mean, I'm better call the cops. Yeah.
All right, Toast. It sounds like you like the Cubs.
Yeah, I'm on the Cubs first 5 here. The reason I'm not in the full game for the Cubs is because they used everybody yesterday. Neris, Leiter, Alzolay, Brewer, all those guys went yesterday. So I didn't really want to get involved with that. I will give you that Imanaga has faced some pretty lackluster offenses, but at the same time, this Braves offense, like I said, last 30 days, a bottom third offense in WRC plus, OPS and WOBA against left-handed pitching. And then also, let's just see who those left-handers they've faced are. Jose Quintana, James Paxton, Logan Allen, Tyler Rogers, Ryan Weathers, Andrew Heaney, Luzardo. I mean, these are just who's of lefties if I've ever seen left-handed pitchers. I mean, so I just think that all the value here is on the Cubs. I think that they're playing really good baseball. This team is scoring a ton of runs. I understand it was against Pittsburgh, but baseball is a mental game. So they're coming in here hot with their number one ace on the mound against a guy in Ronaldo Lopez who, I'll give it, albeit he's been pretty damn good for the Braves, but I do think that dam's going to break sooner or later. I'm just really not a Lopez fan. I understand that he's been very good, but if you're going to give me a plus 115 price tag with this Cubs through the first time of the starting pitching advantage and a team that I think is hitting the ball pretty damn well right now, I'm going to take it.
Prop Beaver?
Well, yeah, I mean, Guy Boston alluded to it. The weather's really screwed me here. I liked the over in this game, but I mean, everybody does, and the line's moving down, and we got the weather concerns. Probably not going to get to the window on this one, but the thought process was the fact that, yeah, the Braves' ranks against lefties are not great, but neither were the Washington Nationals, and they kept putting up runs on lefties through the first 5 innings. I think it's like the same thing here with the Braves. I mean, I don't even understand the Braves' poor rankings against lefties. I mean, 4 runs, 5 runs, 3, 5. That's their last 7 lefties they've faced. I mean, I know some of these guys aren't the most talented lefties in the world, and I really do like Shota Imanaga. I know I just shat on level competition these days, but I mean, to be fair, I mean, Jesus Christ, he's played nobody. But to also be fair, I mean, I do think he's very talented, just on the road at Truist Field. The offense has been disappointing for Atlanta lately. That bullshit happened last night that they're probably sick about. Yeah, I just think that they're going to get up runs here. Then on the other side, Reynaldo Lopez, I'm not a fan of at all. Crack showed in the Mariners game. His last start, I think he only allowed 2 runs, but he was lucky as all hell. I think we're going to start seeing regression hit like a pile of bricks for Ronaldo Lopez. So even while I don't love the Cubs offense, their bullpen is absolute shit. So the Braves could feast on that later in the game. And I think they could get a few runs off of Mr. Lopez. So that'd be where I go in this game. I'm not getting to the window because of the weather, but yeah.
I didn't even mention that it was a Sunday night baseball and they had to travel. Thank you for that, Beaver.
Yeah, but isn't that trend dead this year? Wasn't that like a last year thing?
I don't
I mean, very. There's only been like 3 or 4 games. So.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And I honestly don't know how they've been, to be dead honest with you.
I thought that fading the teams that travel off Sunday Night Baseball hasn't been working this year. I remember someone saying that. I don't know if because last year was a gold mine. Toast, I already bet this one also, and I did.
I'm on the same too.
Oh, you saw what I bet?
Yeah, I'm on the same 2 bets.
Oh, okay, cool. So what me and Toast did is Brewers money line, Brewers minus 1.5. I put a half unit on each. I took both. And I feel like Mitch Keller is still overrated from the start he had last season. He started off with like 2 great months, and then since then it's just been I don't know. He keeps getting priced as a great starting pitcher, and he's really not. The numbers are pretty clear on that. Not to mention Pittsburgh gets owned in this ballpark. I believe I was talking to somebody, I think in the Discord, who was a Pirates fan, and he was saying the Brewers recently had a 21-game winning streak at home against the Pirates. Pittsburgh never wins here. So I like the Brewers. I think we're getting a good price, and Mitch Keller on the mound, he's been mispriced so many times that I'm not even sketched out about the number at all. It actually makes sense that Mitch Keller is overpriced again. And also, not everyone's big on Colin Ray. So I don't even think the number's that sketchy. I played the Brewers money line, and I laid the 1.5, and it sounds like Toast did the same exact thing.
Yeah, I did the same thing. Pittsburgh did win a couple games in Milwaukee last year, though. So
I think it ended last year, the streak. I think it ended
So,
last year.
So a couple things for me. Colin Ray, I am a Colin Ray guy. He might be one of these AKA bet on pitchers for me because every time that he takes the mound, Milwaukee just seems to continue to win games. 6-1 when Mr. Ray gets on the mound for them. Now facing Mitch Keller and this Pirates team that, again, I still think this is a decent price at -140 and plus 152 on the run line against this Pirates team that I'm going to try to continue to fade as much as possible. 4-6 their last 10, 7-13 their last 20 with a couple wins against the Rockies and the Angels. Mitch Keller, terrible history against Milwaukee. He got lit up by him earlier this year. His last 3 starts against them, 15 total innings, 16 runs. It's been really bad. And then on top of all of that, then let's get into the Pittsburgh bullpen. Bender and Chapman have both worked back-to-back nights. Nicholas, who's like their long reliever, middle reliever guys, went back-to-back nights. Ortiz, who's their long reliever, went 35 pitches yesterday. Yeah, it's just a really, really bleak in that Pittsburgh bullpen that's already really, really bad. So, yeah, Milwaukee -1.5.
Evan, let me ask you, man, is this too square for you? Because we're polling at 84% Brewers right now.
Well, consider me part of that 84%. I did split between full game and first 5, and it's not really like I fear the Pittsburgh bullpen versus the Milwaukee or anything like that. It's more so I like the idea of being able to isolate Keller as well. So I have Milwaukee money line. I don't think I sent you the first 5, so you probably don't have that. But Milwaukee money line and Milwaukee first 5. Keller's, plate appearances here against from this Brewers roster pretty crazy. A 333 average against, slugging almost 600. So I don't necessarily see that this being a good spot for him. But overall, I like Milwaukee bats, and I like everything you guys said too. I didn't even know about the necessarily the trend of Pittsburgh in Milwaukee. So I like that. But yeah, consider me part of the 85%.
All right. So Prop Beaver, I actually saw an over graphic for you.
Yeah, Toast, please don't ever say Colin Ray is a bet on pitcher again, or I'm gonna have a fucking aneurysm. That was the craziest
all he does
shit
is
I've
win
ever
for
heard
me,
on
bro.
this show.
All he does is win for me, bro.
He
Sorry,
is horrible.
I'm sorry. All he does is cash tickets. I'm sorry.
All he does is cash, bro.
Maybe that lineup is a bet on lineup when he takes the mound, but my lord, is he not a bet on pitcher.
You know who he is? He is the Christian Javier of last year. That's who he is.
Oh, okay. I could get down with that. Yeah, I would go with the over here or pass. I mean, I don't trust Colin Ray as far as I could throw him. I don't know his weight. I don't know how far I could throw him, but I just don't think he's a very good pitcher. I mean, if you look at the expected numbers, the advanced numbers, I mean, this dude's absolutely horrible. Gets lucky pretty much every time he goes out there. Every time he gets rocked, I rejoice. This Pirates team was able to kill him at Milwaukee just last season. And while I know the Pirates bats have been pretty booty cheeks against righties lately, 5 off of Feltner, 4 off of Mr. Soriano. They did only get 2 off of Assad, but they were able to knock him out of the game pretty early. I think that they could get a couple runs off of Mr. Rea here. So, dude, Colin Rea is awful. I don't know who you think Colin Rea is, this young, exciting prospect. Certainly not that. Quite a bad pitcher. And then I agree with everything you said about Mitch Keller. Do not need to bring that home for you guys. Wow.
How many
Mitch
runs
Keller
are you
has some
counting
bad
on the
pitching.
Pirates here to get this over? How many runs are you counting on the Pirates for?
They could score, I don't know, 3, 4. I mean, the Brewers,
4.
Brewers
4.
bullpen's absolutely taxed. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So
Keep that in the Pirates when you got Ray on the mound. They could score 5 off Ray himself.
no,
Guy's
they
poopy.
can't.
And we have Miguel Hudson and Figueroa. I'm good.
Everyone's betting the Brewers there, and I mean everybody. 83% to 11% is the poll. So if you're somebody that likes to blindly fade the most public bets on the board, this would be a Pirate spot, and I wish you good luck there.
Ray is 6'5", 220. I don't know if that impacts your athletic ability, but I think you can handle it. I think you can handle it.
I don't know. Maybe we could bear wrestle. I can't throw him.
Hold on. Did you say maybe we could bear wrestle?
Yeah.
That's a skinny 6'5", though. That's a skinny.
Yeah. He's like a spear. I feel with the right aerodynamicity.
Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll rethink that.
Yeah. So next up we got Nats at White Sox. Chris flexing, making a home start. Does he deal here, Prop Beaver?
I don't know. I passed on this game. I mean, this is the one where Mr. Kevin Rolfe of Road and Grinders said the weather's an absolute mystery. So I immediately just skipped this game. Don't give a shit about it. Yeah.
See what Toast thinks.
Yeah, I love me some Nats baseball, but there's a huge difference between getting them at plus 120 and then having to lay whatever it is
on the road.
On the road, minus 125 on the road against a White Sox team that hasn't been dead against right-handed pitching. Again, Trevor Williams has been fantastic this year. Hasn't given up a run in his last 2 starts. Only 2 runs in his last 4. I'm not trying to make a case that the White Sox are going to absolutely kill this guy, but I'm also not trying to lay 120 to make sure that he still continues to pitch.
Come on, let's bet the White Sox then.
So it'd be White Sox or pass for me.
Let's go. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't bet this yet. I was kind of hoping.
Either did I.
Kind of hoping to get some confirmation. You know what? Maybe Ev will push me over onto the White Sox.
I'll pull you back. I'm not betting the Nats either, but it's like the price is too steep for Washington and the White Sox. It's not a big enough plus money for me to trust them. So pass. I don't know if that helped push you, but
Williams, I think if the White Sox started more lefties, I'd be a bit more comfortable doing a little fade of Trevor Williams here. But Trevor Williams is good against righties, and that's pretty much all the White Sox lineup has to offer in terms of their talented bats.
And just to give you guys an example, right-handed batters hitting 164, 388 OPS. Left-handed batters against Trevor Williams, 250 average, 644 OPS. So pretty big
massive difference. Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna add this to the watch list. White Sox money line is officially on the watch list.
Also, Chris Flexen might be afraid of Chicago. The home splits are pretty rough this year.
All right, 74% on Washington. So it looks like everyone is down to lay the juice here on the road with the Nats. We got to pick them. Cleveland, Texas.
We got to pick them, folks.
We got to pick them here. This one, betting this one probably comes down to if you are a believer in the Rangers bats coming to life, because you got them at a pick 'em at home. So, Evan, are you a believer in the Rangers bats coming to life?
Yeah, it's kind of exactly how I phrased it in my video today. I was like, with these odds, like I don't necessarily believe in. I think watching the show, one of you guys really likes Tanner Beebe or Bybee, but so it's you. Yeah, I don't necessarily see it. I think maybe I did at one point, but he's definitely lost me if that's the case. And I think that this Texas lineup, I guess, is due, and I kind of believe that at some point. I'm not saying that this is my favorite play on the board, but that's kind of how I view this one, especially as a pick 'em with them at home.
Yeah, I agree that I would lean towards the Rangers here. I am a Tanner Bybee guy, and I think he's going to be a great pitcher. But based on how he's currently pitching in his current state, he's still developing. I trust him a lot more in Cleveland. I don't have a ton of faith in Tanner Bybee going on the road in Arlington and pitching great. So it would only be Rangers here for me as well. But I to be honest, I didn't even really look at the game. I was kind of hoping to see what Prop Beaver thought.
What is this line, dude? Because, I mean, I'm just looking at some of the numbers. I didn't even take a look at this game, to be completely honest.
Well, we're polling at 60% Cleveland. Everyone's betting Cleveland.
What? I mean, okay, I get it now. The Rangers did just get swept at Coors. I mean, that is about as embarrassing.
Not only did they get swept at Coors, they're coming home from like a 12-game road trip where they went to Kansas City, Oakland,
let's get Toast
Colorado.
Up here. Damn it. Toast is betting Cleveland, isn't he?
It's Cleveland or pass. I haven't got to the window yet, but there's no way I bet. There's no way I bet Texas here in this spot. Like I said, coming home from a really, really long road trip where they went to Kansas City, Oakland, Colorado, no days off, and they're coming home and to face a pitcher in Tanner Bybee, who again has not been good his last two starts. But guess where those 2 starts were? At home. His last 2 starts on the road. Matter of fact, his 3 starts at home are on the road this year.
Small.
7 innings, 2 hits against Atlanta, no runs. On the road at Boston, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. On the road at Minnesota, 5 1/3, 5 hits, run. And oh, by the way, he pitched in Texas last year, went 6 innings, 5 hits, and only gave up 2 runs. I actually think that Tanner Bybee can pitch well here tonight. Lorenzen, I don't really know what to expect from him. He did pitch really well against Cleveland last year, but 2 of his last 3 starts haven't been good against Oakland and Cincinnati. He did pitch well against the Royals. But yeah, I think that all the values on Cleveland here for me personally.
No, I disagree.
I didn't bet it though, so I'm not gonna fight. I'm not gonna fight you.
I'm gonna put Rangers money line on the watch list. I think I might actually bet this.
Take that shit off, Kyle.
All right, then put a Cleveland money line graphic up.
I'm just pass on the game. I mean,
you're talking shit to me about my bet, and you're passing.
Yeah, just
what the hell,
game, man. Sometimes you don't need to bet everything, man. I mean, Jesus.
All right, well then don't criticize others who have the stones to throw down a play.
No, I'll throw some stones. I like throwing them. Okay, so basically in this game,
Wait, do you want to talk about this game or not?
I'll just say that Bibby's been much better on the road, but the problem is that he's horrible against lefties, and the Rangers do have a lot of lefties. I just think that the spot is really terrible, so that's why I'm passing. I think everything points to the Rangers, but that spot is – Toast is right. That spot is horrible. Coming out of Coors, too, and the long road trip. Ugh.
And no days off.
If they had swept the Rockies, I could see it. But they got swept. This team needs a win.
Oh, I'm sure they needed a win in Colorado, too.
Yeah, that is true. And I mean, they had some
scored
pretty easy
runs.
matchups
They scored
there.
6 runs in 3 days.
A road game against a bad NL team.
They had a nice matchup against Ryan Feltner. They managed 2 runs, and that was abominable, I will say.
Rangers up. It's a Ranger spot. All right.
Spot?
Yeah, well, Ranger spot probably wasn't the correct
It's a Rangers bet.
It's a Rangers bet. Oakland on the road at Houston, division rivalry here.
One of the greatest rivalries in sports. Toast loves this rivalry, right?
This is like must-see TV right
top
here.
10 division rivalries in sports. Oakland.
I think it's probably
actually,
top
you know
5.
what? Ev, settle this. If you have a team that's in your division, are they your rivals?
I think you guys have had this debate before,
several
right?
times.
I think I've heard this, and I don't think you're on the right side of this one. I don't.
Wow.
If you have a JV team in the division, it's not a rivalry, right?
Well, if you ask Oakland who their rivals are, who do you think they say?
Okay, but that's a different question for Oakland versus Houston. You know what I mean? Like, okay, if you ask the worst team out of the two, then I guess that they would probably claim them as a rival. I think you ask the better teams, they're like, yeah, we can't. They can't even not tall enough to ride the ride. You know,
you think
so
it's
I don't.
Consensual rivalry.
Yeah, I believe this is an
I
unconsensual
think
rivalry.
Are two-way streets.
Well,
So, Ev, who do you like in this division rivalry?
You guys can tell me if I'm crazy, but as I was looking at it, I don't think that I'm talking about stones to place a bet. I don't think I have them here, but I think that plus 153 seems like it could be somewhat of a value play, right? I mean, I don't really believe in spaghetti out there, and these Oakland bats to me have kind of like shocked me a couple times. So yeah, leaning Oakland here.
Someone said, someone just said in the comments, only one rival per team. That's bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with that.
Because all right, who are the Knicks rivals? The Sixers?
Right.
All right, you're going to tell
me
me
be
Knicks
poly-rivalrous in this chat here.
You're going to tell me the Knicks and Celtics aren't rivals?
I think bad teams deserve rivals too.
Exactly. All rivals matter.
Toast.
Oakland, Houston, division rivalry.
I would lean over or Oakland. I was kind of hoping to see what Beaver had to say about this one, just because I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of spaghetti. And if you take a look at what Oakland has been doing over against right-handed pitching, they've been really good. I mean, last 14 days, number 1 in WRC plus, OPS, and WOBA. Last 30 days, number 6, 7, and 7 in those same 3 categories. Aragotti's been hit up most of his starts. I mean, he had a decent start against Cleveland at home and a decent start against Atlanta at home. But again, he's only going 4 or 5 innings. So, I mean, we're getting multiple shots at this Houston bullpen, who I guess has been pitching a little bit better, but I'm still not really in love with them. You're not going to see Hader, Presley, and Abreu till way later in the game. They used Seth Martinez last night. So, yeah, I would lean Oakland, and I would lean over as well, just because Oakland has been hitting the ball pretty damn well. Also, one other thing, Ross Stripling has been bad, but I will say that he did pitch well against Houston last year in this building. He went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 5. So, again, if Stripling can be somewhat decent, I think there's definitely a path to Oakland because they do have everybody in their bullpen ready to go. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
And I'm going to put that over graphic in front of me. I could get more on board with tailing you on that one than the Oakland bet. If Houston's bats are waking up, I don't want to be on the wrong side of that.
Agreed.
Prop Beaver, what are your thoughts?
I don't really have any thoughts. I didn't even look at this game, to be completely honest.
It's a hard one.
I was trying to play some catch up while you guys were talking. I don't really see anything that stands out to me. And I mean,
hey, no peer pressure. No peer pressure.
Yeah, all right. Let's not waste anybody's time.
All right,
I would actually, if I played over, I'd probably lean first 5 just because of how good these, like with Miller available and Eckridge available and all that stuff. I mean, yeah. But yeah, that's a hard one.
Cardinals minus 110. Angels minus 110. Over 8.5. Under 8.5. All right.
Beaver's got to bet in this one, right?
Yeah, I do.
Do you
Oh,
really?
God.
All right. You know what?
I
I saw it on
God.
Twitter. That's why I put you up first. I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, this Cardinals team, man. First 5 over 4.5, minus 110. I wanted to fade both these pitchers, so I'm just combining the efforts. Liberatore on the road has always been a fade spot. 7.68 ERA, 1.3 home run per 9, K to BB percentage less than 4%. 1.76 whip, 5.5 xFIP. I mean, that is absolutely gross right there. Through 10 road starts, Liberatore has allowed 4+ runs through the first 5 and 8 of them. No, that's not a typo. 8 of these games, he allowed 4+ runs through the first 5. I mean, that's just insane. Now he's going to face an Angels offense that, while it's absolutely pissed, they're great against lefties, and they've destroyed his pitch mix. Against starting left-handed pitching, they're 3rd in WOBA, 4th in ISO, and 4th in batted run value against his pitch mix. The last 4 of 5 lefties to face the Angels have now allowed 4+ runs through the first 5. The group combined for a 5.74 ERA, 1.54 whip, and most of them, besides AJ Puck, who's horrible, are actually having a pretty good season thus far. I mean, Martin Perez, Cole Reagans, Christopher Sanchez, Nick Lodolo. These are some pretty good lefties right here that they're hitting up. On the other side, we got Jose Soriano, and this dude has been a nightmare at home. 11.42 ERA, 4.58 WOBA, 3.1 home run per 9. He's been excellent on the road, horrible at home. And while he's impressed overall as a starter, there's some concerning marks. I mean, 14th in hard hit percentage percentile, 14th in barrel percentage percentile, 20th in walk rate percentile. So he has little command, and he allows a ton of hard contact. I just think that's scary because if you look since April 26th, the last 8 starting righties the Cardinals have faced, St. Louis sits 6th in barrel rate, 10th in run value, and 9th in WOBA against Soriano's pitch mix from starting righties. Also, during that span, they're 7th in WRC+, 11th in ISO, and 3rd in walk rate against righties through the first 5. They've managed 2+ runs in the first 5 off the last 6 to 8 starting righties they faced, and 3+ runs off 4 of them. Soriano has specifically struggled more against lefties. Cardinals start 5 or 6 daily, and Mr. Paul Goldschmidt hit a baseball last night, everybody. Clap it up for him. He hit a baseball. Very happy for him. So maybe if he parlays that into some success here, the Cardinals lineup will actually hit with runners in scoring position. I think he's a major reason why this offense has sucked thus far. So, yeah, I really like the value on this one. I think we see a lot of runs early.
I really agree with your bet here. Cardinals getting hot against righties. Angels have some decent. Again, the last 3 lefties they saw, I was just looking at it. The last 3 lefty starters they saw was 8 hits, 7 hits or something. So they are hitting lefties.
And this is the B lineup. This is the lineup that everybody's making fun of right now and memeing on social media. Those dudes are killing, like, high-quality lefties.
Is there a particular reason, just for the fact that I don't really trust either bullpen, to maybe extend it? Or
both offenses absolutely suck at hitting in the later innings, so I just went with the first 5.
Because the Cardinals have no JoJo Romero, no Kittredge tonight. Cardinals bullpen shorthanded. So I might, you know what? I might take everything you said and turn that into an Angels bet.
I don't hate that.
Or Angels team total over.
Bingo!
I guess that's what Toast is.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
All right,
it's getting juicy now, but you can either lay minus 3.5 at minus 140 or 4 at minus 105. I did the 140. But if you don't want to do that, I also really like Joe Adell over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs at plus 125. I'll just go with Beaver. Our Sauce just talked about the St. Louis bullpen. That's what really made me go with the Angels team total over. With Helsley going last night, Romero and Kittredge back-to-back nights. So really nice little look there with the Angels. And then as far as Joe Adell is concerned, only 24 plate appearances versus lefties so far this year, but really killing them. 245 OPS, and he's hit this over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs 4 of his last 5 games. So at plus 125, I really like that value as well. So Angels team total over, Joe Adell to get going to as well.
All right, yeah, I like that. That Angels team total over. I might do that. Ev, what do you think?
I liked Prop Beaver's argument there. I think I might go with that.
That first 5 over?
For me, if it's easy, yeah, first 5 over.
Be careful, because he can be a bit of a salesman sometimes and sell you onto a bad pick.
Yeah. Hey,
Well,
I'm okay with it.
maybe I should go full game because I'll tell you what, the past 2 weeks the bullpens are just taking turns, taking me to the porta potty and just doing what they want with me. It's a tough time out here. I mean,
just let it out.
I can't take it anymore. I can't take these bullpen blow-ups, man.
That was an incredibly detailed metaphor.
Yeah, why in a porter potty?
I like it dirty.
That's why I was like, just let it out, Beaver. It's okay.
I can't take it anymore. This trash-ass Tigers bullpen, man. They're putting PTSD on. I hate them.
Dude, you're telling me, yeah. That Tigers bullpen.
What? He said, yeah, these vets, they've been taking me to the porta potty and doing whatever they want with me.
It's been a tough day for me, you know. Things aren't going well.
Oh, my God. All right, so someone said oil that man up. Oh, it's Cameron Toth. He's back. So we got Rockies, Padres in San Diego. Toast, I put you up first.
I really like the Padres -1.5.
Stop
Call me a
it.
homer. Call me a homer, but let me give you a little
the
bit.
Dodgers win? No way. I was thinking Rockies.
No, dude. Rockies, first game out of Coors, no days off, instant fade after 6 games in Coors. Instant fade, first of all. Second of all, we got the Padres, who I understand they're not just got done playing the Dodgers, but the Padres are really, really hot right now. 7-3 their last 10. They haven't lost back-to-back games in a while. Randy Vasquez, on the other hand, I can understand. You can say, well, you just got hit up by Colorado like 2 weeks ago or whatever it was. I get that. But then he also followed that performance up going on the road to Chicago, going 4 1/3, 5 hits in 1 run, striking out 6 Cubs. I think Vasquez is going to be fine tonight, and then he can hand it off to the Padres bullpen that's rested and ready to go. Everybody's going to be ready to go tonight. I know that Suarez has worked 2 of the last 3 days, but Schultz has shown over and over again that he's more than willing to put him in there if he needs to in those types of situations. So I do expect him to be available tonight. And Dakota Hudson's been terrible, so I will take my chances. Oh, last but not least, the Rockies bullpen. I forgot to say that. Beeks, Kinley, 2 of the last 3 nights, 3 of the last 4 for Beeks. Bird has went 2 of the last 3 nights as well. Oh, by the way, their middle reliever, Vonduct, who's been really good for them, 27 pitches yesterday. He's not going. And then their other setup reliever, Mr. Ty Block, went 70 pitches yesterday, so he's not going to be available. So I don't really know who the Rockies are going to throw out there. If Dakota Hudson throws a fantastic game, so be it. Padres -1.5.
Okay. Not gonna lie.
Right.
There's yeah, he's right. I'm not gonna bet the Rock. I won't be tailing the Padres -1.5. But going in here, my first glance lean was possible Rocky shot or Rockies +1.5. But I will not. This is a pass for me now. He made some good points that you can't really combat. Ev, you have anything in this shitty game?
Yeah, I actually call me crazy, but I like the Padres over their team total today, 4.5. Dakota Hudson and the bullpen. Rockies bats could start, or sorry, the Padres bats could be getting going, even with just 4 runs last night, and I think they scored 0 the game before. But I just think that it's a kind of a perfect situation for them.
Yeah, so Padres team total over. Yeah, so it seems like nobody, because even Prop Beaver was going like this when Toast was talking. So Prop Beaver's agreeing.
I mean, yeah, the issue, I can't get to it because via principle, you'll never, ever see me lay -200 with Randy Vasquez, ever. I don't care what the scenario is. But I do think that Toast pretty much hit the nail on the head. I mean, the Rockies coming out of Coors, they've been hitting some righties lately up at Coors Field, but now you're going to put them back on the road. First game out of Coors, 9-12 righties to face. The Rockies outside of Coors have held them to 1 or less earned runs. So, I mean, Randy Vasquez, well, I don't think you're very talented. I mean, is Roderick Munoz very talented who held them to 1 run? Or Javier Assad or some of these other guys?
Wait, Assad's pretty good.
I think he's good. I think he's absurdly overrated. But yes, I think he's pretty good. The point being that there's a lot of people holding the Rockies to 1 or less runs outside of Coors. I think I watched that Dakota Hudson start against the Giants. He might be the worst starter in baseball. So based on that, the way the Padres are hitting starting right-handed pitching right now, and the bullpen situation for the Rockies, I would agree with honestly both of their bets. I mean, I would probably do a first 7 team total over, but it's pretty hard to give that out when only 2 books have it. So yeah. Those 2.
Manny Machado home run tonight.
Manny Machado.
Anybody with a pulse on the Padres home run tonight.
5 for 10 against him, 2 home runs already. He's had a couple loud outs the last couple nights.
If you guys want some good comedy, watch Dakota Hudson when he gets into a 0-2 count tonight. Just watch what he does. Watch him squirm.
All right, so we got Royals, Mariners, and I've been calling BS on the Royals for a couple of weeks now. I'm in either fade or pass when it comes to Royals games, but George Kirby is minus 152. We're at night. The Mariners can hit at night. Toast.
I got a full unit, first 5 over 3.5, minus 120. Kirby, I love you. Have shown some signs of vulnerability, not so much at home, but he doesn't have the best history against this Royals team. They really got to him last year. I just think that it's very possible that the Royals scrape 1 or 2 across against Kirby here today. And then Brady Singer, I understand that we're considering him back this year. There's no question about that. His last 3 starts have been fantastic. 2 of them at home, 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run against Texas, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 1 run against Milwaukee. My issue is his last couple times to Seattle, or his last time against Seattle, against last year, he went 4 innings, gave up 9 hits and 4 runs. I just feel like this 3.5 number is too low. I continue to hit on these 3.5s over and over and over again. I get that I think that we're getting this because of obviously with these starting pitchers, but I don't think it's possible that both of these teams scrape a couple across in the first couple innings of this game. So yeah, first 5 over 3.5.
Okay. Prop Beaver.
So I just combined 2 props here because
I have a bunch of graphics for this game, so you guys have a few bets between you and Evan because I have like 3 graphics here.
Yeah, I have a parlay. It's Jordan Hicks over 2.5 walks. That's in a game we'll discuss down the line, and then George Kirby under 5.5 hits allowed. That's at plus 184. Let's obviously just talk Kirby here. I was going to take his 4.5 hits allowed today and make it a top bet at plus money. So the fact that they moved this to 5.5, I think they're insane. I feel like they're cooked on this Kirby line. They want to limit some damage, pricing it at a line higher with significantly worse odds to turn away bettors. But I think this is only this high because of the fact that they got 8 off of Kirby last year at KC when they were red hot, an offense that from August on was 7th in WRC plus against righties through the first 5. There's no reason this line should be as high as 5.5. I mean, sure, in the month of May, the Royals are 16th in WRC plus and 10th in average against righties. But now let's split that up by innings. Innings 7 through 9, the Royals are going off right now. 3rd in WRC plus, 1st in average against righties, batting .321. Innings 1 through 6 against righties, 25th in WRC plus, 26th in average, .209. We've now seen the last 7 to 9 righties to face KC go under the number. Take out Berrios and Rodriguez, who had to face KC in back-to-back starts, a brutal spot. And the last 8 to 9 righties to face KC away from KC have gone under, averaging just 3.1 hits allowed. I know that Kirby went over his first 2 or 3 starts this season, looking pretty ugly there. But he's now going under 5 straight, averaging 4. And he's under his last 12 or 14 at home that headed back to 2023. Outs line heavily suggests he hits 18 plus here. He's under 11 straight at home with 18 plus outs. And the fact that his ERA line is also juiced to all heavens on the under. And he's under his last 23 or 29 starts with 2 or less ERA. So I just think it's a great parlay piece for tonight. So I'm including it. If I'm wrong and Kirby gets shelled here, may need to revisit what's going on with Mr. Kirby, because this is a spot he should deal.
So it sounds like you like the spot for Kirby. I think I saw a George Kirby graphic for Evan as well.
You did, yeah. I like his under in strikeouts at 5.5. I guess that doesn't necessarily not correlate to what you're looking at here, Prop Beaver, but overall, I think that this Kansas City team, I think that there's plenty of holes in their offense. I also like them on the first 5 just because I got
is your graphic, the first
a good number at it. Yeah, too. I think I got it at plus 130, so don't mind that. But honestly, this Kirby line, if there's one thing about this KC offense right now, they're not striking out against righties. The one, not to hurt my own point here, the one caveat I would throw in is that Kirby, I would say, is probably by far and away the best righty that they've faced in quite some time. But nonetheless, getting 6 strikeouts here, I do think is still asking a lot against a team that hasn't really struck out much against righties.
So you also said you like the Kansas City first 5 money line, so I got it.
Yeah, he's wrong. The Royals are not striking out at all, but guess what? They're also not hitting. It's almost an anomaly. I don't understand it.
Yeah, if this was like even plus 105, I think for KC first 5, it wouldn't really, get the motor going. But plus 130, I think it's way better odds of hitting than even a coin flip here. So to get it at plus 130, I like it.
Yeah, this is going to be a pass for me. You know why? Because I feel like after each one of you talked, I felt differently. I was like, oh, yeah. And then even like for a second, I was like, I want to back Kirby. Then it's like, well, Toast's on the first 5 over. So, no. And then for a second, I was like, Seattle first 5 run line. And then he likes the Royals first 5. No, I'm just going to pass.
I feel it.
Let's go next game, which we have just 2 games remaining, and we're done. So
Man, this price is fucking crazy now.
What's it at now?
Well, I mean, you could get the Diamondbacks at like 135, 140 earlier. It's at 160 now.
Boy. And for good reason. The Reds are awful.
I agree. I'm just saying that this is a completely different number.
But I think, okay, so obviously we know the Reds bats are terrible and you can't rely on them. But I think Ashcraft could definitely deal here. What are your thoughts on that, Toast?
I agree. This one, I couldn't bet it. I couldn't bet because I really wanted to bet Cincinnati just because of the spot that Arizona's in, coming back from an East Coast road trip. I understand that they won their last game, but they've looked kind of bad. I understand, and then they just played this Cincinnati team and whooped up on them. Cincinnati's coming off 2 ugly losses against the Giants. Monty's been like somewhat serviceable, but these guys just saw him. I don't know. This is a really hard game for me. So yeah, it's a pass for me. That's a long-winded pass for me. So I lean Reds. There's no way in hell I'm laying 160 with the Diamondbacks, but at the same time, I don't think I could bet them.
Let's bring Evan up. A lot of people in the comments are throwing the snake emojis out. Snakes money line, D-backs -1.5, fade the Reds. So as far as the viewership, they seem to like the Snakes. Ev, what are your thoughts?
I didn't get a graphic to you for this, and it's because it's something that I got it. I think it was -130 on FanDuel earlier. It looks like it's now 148, and it's in the -150 or 60s everywhere else. So it's really not one that everyone can go out there and get. But Jordan Montgomery's over 17.5 outs. It's a way of kind of backing, I guess, the Diamondbacks here and fading the Reds bats without having to kind of draw that line in the sand of who you think is going to go and win this game. He's done it in 3 of 4 starts. The only one they didn't was against the Dodgers this year. So I think that they could.
It's priced out at this point, though.
Unfortunately, yeah.
All right, so maybe if you're looking,
it depends. If Prop Beaver's family on the line, you can get it for -148 still. It's not -150.
Also, I forgot to say the Reds bullpen's pretty taxed. Diaz and Pagan back-to-back nights, 2 of the last 3 nights. That's their top 2 guys. Sims 2 of the last 3 nights. That's one of their middle relievers. Nick Martinez went 21 last night, so it's bleak.
Prop Beaver, is it possible? Like, what could I do? D-backs money line and put in like Montgomery 15 plus outs.
Beaver, hold on really quick. Did you see the simulation for Ballpark Pal in this game?
No, but I'll peep it right now.
Just crazy.
Let's see.
I want to see what it is.
6.5,
6 runs for the Reds, 5 runs for the D-backs. Wow, that is the complete opposite of.
I know, right? That's why I was like, man. Yeah. That's why I looked at that and I was like,
yeah, I'm not gonna bet this one. I was leaning the under here, but
Me too.
Two teams just played. Ashcraft did fine. Well, actually, no, he actually got 3 runs through 5 innings. But now he's on the road where he's a bit better. Montgomery pitched excellently, but now he's. I don't know. I don't give a shit about this game.
I feel like because I was thinking under as well because it's the Reds lineup, and I think Ashcraft can pitch well. But I feel like
I feel like when. My bad.
No. It's fine.
I feel like when you see an 8.5 at Arizona, that tends to be a little lower.
That's actually word for word what I was going to say. Is I feel like I always lose unders in Arizona when I bet the D-backs home games. I always lose.
Well, and also the Arizona bullpen, none of them worked yesterday, but I mean they've worked a lot Thursday, Friday, Saturday in that series in Baltimore. So in behind. So I mean,
I'd be isolating to the first 5.
Yeah,
first 5 under 4.5 -105. I think that's the best bet if you need a bet. If your family's on the train tracks, that's what you do.
Yeah, I agree.
Low vig.
This is like a crazy metaphor to keep going. Your family's on a train tracks based on your bet in the Arizona game.
Happens to me a lot.
We've all been there.
Been there, done that, brother.
Got the Dodgers coming off
Ass whooping.
A good old-fashioned ass whooping on the road in San Francisco. I mean, blindly just looking at this, I want to take a shot with the Giants, but what do you think, Rob Beaver?
I was in the same boat as you. I was like, damn, how could I get to the Giants here? Because the Dodgers bats look like such dog shit in that Padres series. It was actually obscene. I mean, they faced 3 righties and they looked, quite frankly, absolutely useless. It's okay to be shut down by Yu Darvish, but Michael King, you had already seen twice already to this point. I don't think he's the greatest starter in the world. I think he's a fantastic reliever. But starter, and for him to do that to them, I mean, he sunned them. He actually daddied them, put a binky in their mouth. So that was pretty weird. And then the next start, Matthew Waldron, who I thought was going to get killed, dominated them through the first 5. I mean, I didn't check the rest of that game. I was so pissed. But I think in the 6th inning, he might have allowed some runs. I think he may have allowed a grand slam, actually. But I don't know. I'm not really in love with what I saw from fuck him. I'm not really in love
sorry. It wasn't Waldron. It was Peralta that came in and gave it up. Or I'm sorry, De Los Santos that came in and gave it up.
Yeah, so it's just weird right now what's happening with the Dodgers against righties. Normally, Dodgers against righties is an auto bet. What I did is my parlay. So I already mentioned the Kirby leg. I'm going with Hicks over 2.5 walks here. Even when King dealt the other day, what'd he do? He walked 3 batters. Command has always been an issue with Mr. Hicks. And while it looked like he figured it out his first 2 starts, last 6 starts, 12% walk rate. That is gross. He's over it in 3 of those. And that gross walk rate skyrockets to 18%. That is the Joe Boyle range during that span against lefties. And he's going to face 5 of them. 4 of those lefties through the first 5 against righties on an elite 12% walk rate against righties. Ohtani, Muncy, Freeman, and Lux. This is Dodgers team that's first in walk rate against righties through the first 5 overall and second over the last 2 weeks at 15%. The Dodgers have faced 6 arms in the top 45 arms of walk rate allowed by starting pitchers. Buto, Hauser, Cabrera, Bassett, and King. Those arms were 6 and 1 to the over, averaging 3. I think that Mr. Hicks joins them today. I think if you have command issues, the Dodgers are your worst nightmare with how patient they are.
Bingo.
You're on that walk prop too?
No, I'm on Dodgers minus 1.5. You already know what it is.
All right. I don't know. I was kind of trying to get to the other side.
I agree because
go ahead, Beaver.
I think the Giants are showing some signs of life against righties lately. I mean, stop it. They are somewhat, right?
Well,
I mean,
if
you go ahead, and you look at the game logs, I mean, they just killed Frankie Montas, who you can say what you want about Montas, the velocity and everything that he reached in his first start of the season when he looked amazing. It was the exact same yesterday. So he had the velocity working for him. He just got killed. They also killed Lambert and they killed Dakota Hudson, who I think is a disgrace. But point being, they've scored 4+ runs off the last 3 or 4 righties they faced. So maybe they're picking up some momentum there.
And my point to that being that the somewhat decent arms that they've seen, like not even that Cal Quantrill's good, they were bad. Zach Wheeler, they were bad. Taijuan Walker, I guess they weren't terrible, but regardless, I think Yamamoto shoves here today. I said this going in after the Mets game, that Washington game. If he goes in here and shoves, I think he's going to find something. And he's went on a roll since then. He went into Arizona, went 6 innings, gave up 5 hits and no runs, and then it's probably one of his better performances in Miami. 8 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. I really think that he can shut down the Giants here tonight. And then he's got a rested Dodgers bullpen behind him. Jordan Hicks, Beaver talked about his walk issues. I think that could be an issue with the Dodgers as well. And then considering the fact that you take a look at that Giants bullpen, Duvall went 23 pitches last night. Tyler Rogers has went 2 of the last 3 nights. Ryan Walker 2 of the last 3 nights. Luke Jackson went 17. Eric Milner went 2 of the last 3 nights. The other guy, Sean Hiley, or however you say his name, has went 2 of the last 3 nights. So the Giants bullpen is not in good shape either. Dodgers minus 1.5.
All right. Evan, last game.
Yeah, might as well throw me in there with Toast. This is a spot where I believe in Yamamoto, and obviously I think that lineup speaks for itself. I also like the Dodgers coming off of a loss, kind of maybe a little, and losing 2 or 3 against what I would consider an actual rival. So, yeah, give me them.
I guess I'm the only one that was trying to lean Giants.
I did. I could tell you I tried to, but it just didn't work.
I just couldn't get there.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put up Giants money line. I won't be betting it though, but that's where I was trying to get to. And if I was to place a bet on this game, that's what it would be when I get there. So Giants money line. Yep. Poll is all over the Dodgers, and we're talking 72% to 15%. So most of the action's coming in on the Dodgers. All right. Let's
Always
do a community parlay and get the hell out of here. Let's see, Proppy, you want to cook up a pick 'em?
Yep, just put my Mets on.
So stupid.
I think it's hilarious, personally. I'm all for that.
Just put my mitts on. Orioles money line. Tigers money line. Phillies Mets. Phillies money line. The Mets are now favored, by the way.
Go to.
What? All right. I don't care. I'm not letting the line movement freak me out.
It's because of that dog shit lineup they rolled out there. What the hell was that? Phil?
Yeah, exactly.
While they're voting on the first leg, Evan, you want to tell them, everyone where they can find your stuff?
Yeah, on YouTube, Guy Boston Sports. Twitter has a link for everything as well, at Ev Guy Boston. Appreciate anyone that tunes in and everything like that. We got to get daily content, bunch of stuff over there as well. So, yeah, go check me out if you haven't yet.
He produces good stuff. We try to get him on the show a lot. He's a busy guy, and you could tell by the amount of work that goes in over there. They do a good job.
I'd like to come on more than I do. I feel like every time you message me, I'm like, oh, I'm in Chicago. I was just in Philly this weekend. So busy summer.
Yeah, and I saw you got out on the links recently. I recently played golf myself.
Yeah, I'm a big golfer.
Oh, really?
Yep.
We'll have to play next time you're in the area.
Let's do it.
Phillies money line is the first leg, so the community doesn't care about the line movement. They don't care about the shitty.
They don't care about the super tax bullpen. They're riding the scumbags till the wheels fall off.
Hey, I'm on Phillies too. Good pick, community.
Couple things. Manny Machado over 1.5 total bases. Rafael Devers over 1.5 total bases. Joe Adell over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. I'll be posting them on Twitter here in a few minutes.
Manny Machads.
Yeah, I love Manny.
Guardians, they like Cleveland with toast. They like the Cleveland.
When my son met Manny, he goes, my mom wanted me to tell you that she loves you. And I was like, yeah. I go, yeah, I said, my wife's going to be super jealous. And he grabbed my son and gave him a hug and took a picture. And he's like, now she's really going to be jealous, huh? And I was dying laughing. Manny Machado's a good guy.
Good guy.
He should be a Met.
Nah. Looks better in San Diego.
We'll take Devers. We'll take Devers, though.
Yep, he's coming. After his 10-year contract's up, he'll come.
No, he's going to ask out. It's going to be Brewers the second leg. Phillies money line, Brewers money line. All right. So they liked Houston, I'm guessing. I don't remember that poll, but I'm guessing a majority of the viewers picked Houston over Oakland. Cardinals, Angels, they like the Cardinals. It was pretty split, that one, though. Rockies, Padres, they like the Padres. So did everyone on the panel. Royals, Mariners. All right, cast your votes.
I think the Mets are going to sign like Alec Bregman.
Oh, I'd love that. He's been awesome.
That just feels like a Mets move to me.
Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like Jason Bay Part 2.
Did you email me your creation, Prop Beaver? Are you still making it?
No, it's out the oven. I sent.
It's cooling.
It's cooling. Padres money line. All right, that's the third one, and let's see what the cooling. All right. Diamondbacks.
You know who would look good? Teoscar Hernandez would look good as a Met.
I would love him on the Mets. I mean, we need a lefty, Keller.
Wait, you think we'll get Teoscar and Devers? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think you have a chance in hell to get Rafael Devers, but sure, if you think that you're going to get Devers, yeah, I think you.
I'm telling you, he's a Met.
You couldn't put Rafael Devers on the Mets in MLB The Show if you had forced trades on. That's how unlikely a landing spot Rafael Devers is.
We're gonna keep a
Hey,
tally.
it's
How
pretty
many
bad.
how many times Prop Beaver uses MLB The Show in his analysis?
No, Rafael Devers is going to be age 39. He's going to sign a 1-year, like, minimum vet deal with the Mets. And he's going to be like, told you.
Just wait. When he's a Met, you're gonna be like, I can't believe that happened. Like, I can't believe.
I'm going to say, wow, this franchise is really, like, he's 38 and we just signed him? That's a tough signing.
No. Wrong.
No.
Community, someone want to shout out the odds for this parlay?
It is plus 662.
All right, community, a little modest today. Phillies money line, Brewers money line, Padres money line, Dodgers money line plus 662. Now let's bring Prop Beaver to the forefront here so he can read off his creation. What'd you say? 4 of the last 7, right?
I think it's probably 4 of the last. Hey, I think I lost the last one. I mean, I'd need to go ahead and check the email I sent you. Let's go ahead and see. Nestor did allow more than 2. No, I mean, Mike Clevenger had like 55 Ks. So, no, that one lost.
I told you he was going to have a lot of Ks.
He had like 55.
You didn't say that at all.
That's what YouTube comments are like. Like, whatever happens, like, told you. Like, who
Also,
are you?
another guy today told me the Blue Jays are 1-8-5, I believe, to the first 5 money line as dogs against righties. I said, all right, what site has that info? I then messaged him separately. I said, sir, what site has that info? I haven't gotten a reply. What is with these people making up these fake numbers? What is wrong with people? They need to seek help. So I'm for the underdog, I got lower than 2.5 earned runs for a Mr. Jose Berrios. I think that he's going to have a pretty solid game today. The Orioles are slacking right now against starting right-handed pitching. He's performed very well there before. I think he has a good outing. Sean Manaea, higher than 5 Ks. I like that we're getting it at the even 5. Gives some push potential. I think he's going to get 6, maybe 7 today. George Kirby, lower than 5 hits allowed. I was fine playing this at 4.5, so I'm fine playing this at 5 as well. And then Mr. Jordan Hicks, higher than 2.5 walks allowed. Walk heavy guys. I mean, the top 50 in terms of walk rate, 6-1 to their over against the Dodgers this season. Think that Mr. Hicks joins that club. So,
If you don't have an Underdog Fantasy account, it's available in any state highlighted in this map. So if you're in one of the states highlighted in yellow, head over to the website or download the app Underdog Fantasy. When you make your account, make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus match. So if you deposit $100, they will give you a free $100 to play with. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Ev, thanks for joining, man. If you ever need me to come back and hop on one of your shows, let me know. Be happy to return the favor. Also, if you're interested in having Prop Beaver or Toast, hit them up. I'm sure they'd be down as well. Let's have a good night, guys. I'm posting the rest. I already have some MLB bets posted on the website. I'm going to post a couple more right now. Remember to bet responsibly tonight, guys. Later.